I can't believe this is a 7-piece guitar. We know what this is. This is my 2001 Fender Tom DeLonge Stratocaster body. Obviously the hardtail. It's in the surf green. Arguably one of the better colors, but not my favorite. So yeah, the main point, those big cracks there. Now, I mean, I've been happy enough with those cracks for 2 years now. What has changed is this big line we're getting here, and there's another one just here. I mentioned it in my last video about this here. It's hard to see. Also get another wee crack just there. But yeah, my favorite color is graffiti yellow. Obviously the SpongeBob thing was just a joke. Yeah, we're going to strip this today, and while we're at it, I'm going to do a tutorial of how I would strip this, not how to do it, because I don't think I'm qualified to do tutorials, but this is how I would do it. This is how I'm going to do it, so you can follow along, and if it works, try it yourself at your own risk. Before we get into this, there's something I want to show you, so we'll check that out and we'll come right back. This is a PRS Silver Sky SE model. As you can see, it's missing its pickups, pickguard. That's fine. This is going to be the 2,500 subscriber giveaway. Whenever we hit 2,500 subscribers, the next video after that, I'll be launching the giveaway of this here. Only thing I need to do is get a new pickguard for it. I'm just undecided on what I want. Obviously, I would like to give it the single humbucker treatment, and I did a green one, just like that. But part of me also thinks that humbucker single coil might look really, really, really nice on this here. And I think humbucker with a telly neck single coil might be cool. It's the only time you'll hear me say that, but let me know in the comments whether you would like humbucker or humbucker single coil, or some other version of that there. The original pickups there are already sold and gone, so yeah, sorry. It's going to be one of your guitars, so it's not my guitar. Let me know in the comments what way I should finish this, and I'll do it, and this is the next giveaway. So yeah, good luck to everyone, and yeah, terms for that giveaway will be in the next video after we hit 2,500 subscribers. Should be very soon, I would imagine the next couple of weeks or so. Let's get back to the video. First thing we're going to use is this DeWalt heat gun. Now, I think these are relatively inexpensive. I stole this one from my dad years ago and never gave it back to him, so yeah. Second thing we're going to use is this. Now this is a plastic silicone scraper. I find this is way better than a metal scraper, because anytime I've used a metal scraper, now it might come down to skill. You know, if you're skilled with a metal scraper, then use one. But obviously, I'm not skilled at it. Every time I use a metal scraper, I take chunks out of the body. So I've just learned over the years that these wee silicone plastic scrapers are much better. You just need to be careful you don't melt the tip of it while you're doing that. As you can see, it's a wee bit melted here. Sometimes while you've got the heat gun going and you're scraping at the paint, you end up melting the tip of this as well. So yeah, just watch that. And obviously, don't do this on top of anything you care about. This is the missus's old yoga mat, so it's going in the bin. I've got myself a new mat for the guitars anyway, so yeah. Maybe lay down like an old sheet or a pillowcase or towel or something like that there, because this gets messy. And also make sure you wear some sort of mask protection, or you know, you do it in a well ventilated area, because the fumes off this get pretty nasty. So generally you look for somewhere to start, and normally I would do it in around the pickup cavity, but because this already had a crack, I thought I'd give a go at picking it off before using the heat gun anyway. And then after I'd had a little play around with that, I took the heat gun to it and started to strip it. So I started off quite cautious, and straight away I could see there was some sort of veneer on top of this here. So I was really worried that using too much heat in and around this might actually lift that veneer as well as the paint. But thankfully we managed okay. And that's a good point to note. If you are stripping like a clear coat off something like a Chapman or an Epiphone, something that has some sort of thin veneer on top, like a quilted maple veneer, anything like that, just be very, very careful you don't lift the glue under that veneer and strip the whole veneer off as well as the paint. You don't want that. Obviously, not an issue with a solid color guitar like this one, but yeah, good thing to note anyway. So as I get into this a bit more, you'll see I start applying more and more heat, and the paint starts coming off in slightly bigger chunks. Still chipping away in small parts at places, but overall, pretty good. I might stop and get a thumbnail. So sometimes you can heat this too much and actually melt the paint. You need to just strike a balance between lifting the paint off the body and actually melting it, otherwise you end up getting stuck in places like I have just here. It still comes off easy enough, but obviously we're aiming to lift big chunks off instead of just chipping little pieces off. So the edge of the plastic scraper did start to melt a bit. I just took a pocket knife to it and sharpened it up again. I had to do this a couple of times in the process, but no big deal, and was able to get straight back to it. Like I said before, if you're happy enough using a metal paint scraper, then work away, but I much prefer these plastic scrapers that are designed for taking silicone off. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's the thumbnail. Alright, so that's it done. Obviously, we've put some surface scratches into it, but we managed to do the whole thing without getting any big chunks out of the wood, which is a huge bonus. Let's edit that out and pretend like that didn't happen. So yeah, no big chunks out of the wood, just some surface scratches along the way, but the whole thing has to be sanded anyway, and then sanding sealer applied or some sort of pore filler, leveled down again to smooth before paint. So it's not like those wee scratches matter. That's always going to happen when you're scraping paint off, and especially when you're really going at it. But yeah, that was relatively successful. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty crazy that these things, this is a 5-piece body. Or is it 6-piece? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 7-piece body. It's a 7-piece body, and then they put this veneer on the top and back. How weird is that? 7-piece, like $2,000 guitar nowadays, and it's a 7-piece body. The cracks were just in the paint, not in the body. Maybe you want to use that are smarter than me can tell me if I'm on the right tracks here, but I'm thinking because this is a 7-piece body, that is why it got those big paint cracks. My guess, or at least makes sense in my head, is that the 7 pieces all expand and contract and move about the place ever so slightly differently from each other, which has caused the paint to crack, whereas maybe on a 2-piece you wouldn't have that independent movement quite so much. I mean, I could be talking absolute nonsense here, but in my head that sounds sensible. So yeah, let me know in the comments if I'm on the right tracks here, if the 7-piece body has contributed to the paint cracks, and maybe that's why so many of these are cracking. Like, it just baffles me that they've made this from 7 pieces. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but yeah, crazy. Still not 100% sold on color. I haven't bought anything yet. I'm going to do this with rattle cans because I want to do it like a tutorial DIY thing. Also, I don't have access to a proper spray booth with a compressor. My brother does, but he's so busy at the minute. We wouldn't see this again for another 6 months. He's that busy. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll bring this into my wee DIY spray booth, which is basically a cheap greenhouse from Amazon, and with a filtration system. And we'll spray this with the rattle cans, or the spray cans, whatever you want to call it. And I'll do like a mini tutorial again. I don't know if I'm really qualified to do tutorials, but we'll just call it a how I do it. If you know a better way, then by all means do it that way. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and we've probably made half a dozen or so diehard Tom DeLonge fans cry at this video, so yeah, collateral damage. Anyway, still pieces coming off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll go yellow, but I haven't actually bought the paint yet, and it's definitely going to be a nitrocellulose finish, just because I prefer how that is. And then next time it ages, hopefully it won't peel off in the horns the way it did. Hopefully it'll crack nicely and age like a guitar should age. Yeah, thanks for watching this one. Don't forget about the giveaway that's coming up soon. Last winner was Nathaniel Bowden. He won from the USA. He's got his guitar and all. So yeah, see you next time. Nice new mat. I'll promise to keep you clean, although it's maybe not big enough. Guarantee it's dirty within 2 days. Anyway.